Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hi, I'm Michael Neill, owner of Book Manager, the founder of Book Manager, and I'm here today. We're going to talk a little bit about our store, Mosaic Books, that my wife and I own, and my son and daughter are actively working, have been working and running the store for a number of years. This is our 45th anniversary. Today I wanted to just show you a little bit about what we do at Mosaic, and we're right now, it's November the 17th, 16th, somewhere around there, and we're having our annual 3-day book sale. And so this is a very big event that our customers look forward to every year now. It's been building for many years. As you can see from here, we take 20% off absolutely everything in our store. It's come very well. So these posters, my son Trevor is very clever and has done these. I think they're around, costing them around $30 or so, $35 to produce. But they're nice big ones, and we make it. Now, so we'll come on down here, and I'm going to show you a little bit about all the different aspects of this sale and our store, and give you maybe some ideas that you could employ in your own store. We have a $2 table that's been quite well, it's just always out here, and it's quite successful, and this is where we basically clear out some books. And every day we're selling half a dozen or so books out here. So here's the entrance to our store, and Sunday morning, so things are just starting to heat up now as we come in. So, well, I wanted to show you a little bit about, we're going to be talking about calendars. You come down here, we've got a lot of window space at Mosaic. And one of the things that we do to let everybody know about our calendar thing is we put calendars all along the window here. It's a great idea. It doesn't really, you can still see into the store, and it's been quite effective. So that's this area all along the bottom down here is our, what we call our backroom stock, which is actually overstock, and but it works very well for marketing as well. So come on inside and let's have a look around our store inside. Little things like our windows, we try not to allow any windows. We don't want them totally blocked with posters, but we do have posters for community events. Oh, and now we're in the bookstore. So welcome. So this is where, of course, you come in, and we have a nice display table of, we prefer to feature noteworthy books and new books on there all the time. This area over here is very popular, and it's where we put all our new releases and the bestsellers. At Mosaic, we've stood by the rule that we like to give about, we do a 25% discount on our selected bestsellers, and we use Book Manager's price labeling thing to be able to show people the price of them, so we sticker those on the front. We're going to show you a little bit about, we have puzzles as well that we do quite well with. Calendars is the other big thing that I do want to talk about. I think we do an enormous volume in calendars. Here's a display of page-a-days. As you can see, we've got signage on where this is part of the sale where everything is 20% off in the store, no matter what it is. So let's go have a look around our store here. We have a table set up here of all the engagement calendars. This area here has been very successful with the Mr. Men, and it's been funny how these books have done well, but when you put them out here, they're a great impulse. A lot of people remember them. Your front area is really critical, and I see some stores that seem to have product that's at the front counter that's kind of stale and never really does anything. This is such an important area at the point of sale. We were joking about earlier about our catalog for the fall from the, looks like it's from the 1970s, so we're going to have to talk about that. I wasn't too happy with the books for everybody this year, at least the front cover.
Content is good, the cover is not so much.
Not so good. Now here's an example of a book that we really believe, we really enjoy this book, The Day the Crayons Quit. Lots of people know about it now, but by featuring it at the front, it's often an impulse. Trevor's favorite, Everything I Needed to Know I Learned from a Little Golden Book. Interesting that this book, Trevor, you had 6 or something. We had 6 on order, and we're up to about 100 copies now because we featured it. So it's important that way. Anyway, this is the front of our store, and I'm going to take you around the side here. We have our own bags made, which is people seem to enjoy, and we give those away if they buy, I think, $50 or more. Otherwise, we charge $1 for them. So, behind the counter here, we have 4 terminals. And the way we've set them up we share a receipt printer and payment terminal between the two, so that allows us to do research and or sales. Today's will be heating up. It'll be very busy. People will line up here, and some people will be served on the side, some people from the front, and it goes quite smooth with sharing the over behind here we have this is where we have all our helds, our special orders, and so it's reasonably okay right now, not doing too bad. And as you can see, we do keep a fairly heavy, deep selection of the popular stuff. We believe in making things. We're not afraid of returns, although they are costly. When we get into part of our the advertising for our sale is quite important. We've been very successful with, this is our free newspaper, comes out a couple of times a week. And for that one we spend a lot of money. We don't advertise throughout the year, but we basically buy a big enough ad that if you're going to pick up this paper and look at it all, you're going to see our ad. And it's amazing how many people see this ad. So this is a very critical thing. This costs us, I think, around $900.
For the 2 days, it's getting close to $1,800.
$1,800 for the 2 days. So it's a lot of money. You don't need to go this big, but it is important to get proper placement. Right-hand side, a few pages in, and even if you have to pay a premium to get in that, sometimes they charge 25% extra to place your ad. It's well worth it because it has to be there. So we do that. We got some good free publicity last week. Looking good at 45. It's Mosaic's 45th anniversary, so we had a good write-up, and that was helpful. Now, the calendars, as I mentioned, well, we'll just show you, I think we covered everything here. So let's go down here. So this is the way our calendars are set up, and as you have a look here, you'll see it's quite enormous. We have, I forget, well over 1,000 titles. Let me go on here. Now, what we've done for a short period, last year and the years before, we did this, all calendars, 3 for the price of 2. For the sale weekend, we are just doing 20% off everything, so we make things straightforward for everybody. The customers don't get confused what's on sale, what's not. But this year, we decided to put this on right at the get-go, sometime in August when we started. And these are set up on here, and they go all around. We have them on the window above there, and it's amazing. So we're up about 85% in unit sales this year over last year, and last year we had a very good year with calendars. So this is just amazing. We can't seem to find the end where we finally flooded the market. And we have the group calendar buy that we've developed over the years has been working quite well, so that we can get enough margin on these so that we can afford to do this discounting and still make a really good margin. Calendar sales right after Christmas are really strong. We immediately go to 50% off, and we still make a full margin on those. So that's really good. It's something interesting to think about. Just going to show you another big thing about Mosaic has been our magazine selection, which is very extensive, and it's quite a costly investment to do, but it brings in a lot of people into our store. I was showing you, again, we make use of our overstock in the windows, and so that goes here. Just coming out of the magazine aisle, I also wanted to show that we do really good business in greeting cards. Got quite a wall, and it's important to make sure that all of your greeting cards and all the different lines are actually working. I mean, I'm a big advocate in this store. Talk about a little bit is that nothing in this store really has been here for more than a year. We work really hard to get rid of everything that has been hanging around. We either return it, reduce it, we just do whatever, because there is so much new stuff that is out there and good stuff that you don't need to, and you don't want to clog your store up with. Old books. So let's just look at a section here, for instance, and a little bit about the signage. You might notice that we had some fun with this when we first did it. Rather than having computer generated and professional signs, we actually made our own signs. We think they make the store look quite unique, and people comment on them quite regularly. They're easy to see. So part of our deal is we put a tape sign around here. These are inexpensive to make, and we put 20%, so we remind everybody about our sale. You'll notice that we have new tags, and we like to, all the new releases that come out, we like to feature them for about a month or two, no more than 2 months, and then are using our little tags. We actually have these for sale if you want them at Book Manager. You can see that actually we are experimenting now. This has been just over a year. We're actually discounting all hardcover fiction that we get in by 20%. And I'm going to hopefully work with the publishers to see if we can get a rebate. And a little bit about the rebate is that this sale happens, we've been doing it for 10 years, but in the past few years I realized that I asked the publishers, the big ones especially, whether or not they would support us on this sale, and it turns out they will. And I'm able to generate a report at the end of this sale, which ends this evening. I will generate a report of everything that we sold in this store, grouped by the publisher, that we gave 20% off. They have agreed to rebate us 10% of that 20%. So in essence, we're really only giving up 10% of our margin, and that rebate goes a long ways to pay for that $2,000 worth of advertising that you saw. So overall, I'd like to also mention that this weekend seems like no different than the previous years, is that we are tripling our sales from like the same weekend last weekend or next weekend. It also doesn't seem to cannibalize our sales, where some people fear that this all happens and everybody's done. They keep coming back. It's around the middle of November, as I mentioned. The idea of doing this about 5 weeks, 6 weeks before Christmas is that it brings people into the store who maybe have forgotten about us. And then once they've done here, they haven't finished their Christmas shopping, they will be back. So I think it's really important for us. This is the way that we remind everybody about Mosaic Books and what we have. This part of the store is all basically what we call our new books. And we've reserved the back of the store for another very important part of our business model, which is our bargain books. And it's interesting that we are now doing about 40% of the unit sales of the books that move out of the store are coming from bargain books. So it's really significant. In fact, I would say I don't even know if our store would be sustainable if we weren't involved in this part of the business. It's become such an important part, and it's certainly better than getting into crafts and gifts and blankets and who knows what else that these other stores do. So this particular area, stores that sell remainder books and hurt books, can do it two ways. We do a bit of a mix. So we have things like all of our fiction categories are all on tables, and so we do fiction, teen, few business and that sort of, and history, biography, and then we have some wall units with some other categories. It's interesting how the tables seem to outperform the wall units, except for maybe in the case of coffee table books.
Or cookbooks.
or cookbooks. As you can see, we've got an extensive bargain book. Let's just so our bargain books, everything that we have that is bargain oriented or discounted has a label on the front, and our labeling system will set it up with a separate ISBN, so you can track this as a new book as well as a bargain book separately, and there's a nice good price on here. We found that certain sections, certainly in the smaller stores you'll find this as well, it's very difficult to, for instance, have a huge bargain cooking section or a bargain biography and so on. So what we've taken with some of our sections, like crafts for instance, and gardening and stuff, we've actually integrated the bargain books with the new books, and it's working quite well, so that if you don't have. But certainly I found the fiction makes sense to keep it separate. We've got the bargain oriented fiction, and people go through, this is all sorted alphabetically, so that, well, I would prefer to keep that separate because there's some older stuff here. Everything in this area of the store as well is, you'll find there's nothing that's a year old, over a year old. We are just as ruthless with the bargain books as we are with the new books. Which brings me to, I guess, this ever very popular, and it's our Toonie book area, where all these books are Toonie. Another thing that we do once every so often in this in the store with regard to our bargain books is that we offer them. You can buy 2 bargain books and you get a 3rd one free, much like the calendars. And we work that out, and that works very well. People look forward to when we have those sales. So the signs change around here, and it's buy 2 get a 3rd free. So it's been very successful. As you can probably see as you're going around here, the store is a little messy. That's because we've been very busy this weekend. This is just an area just to show you. So this is an ordering. This is where Sarah sits and does the buying for the store, and it does allow her to also help customers when they customers can approach from here. This is Trevor and Rob's desk where Trevor sits and does some work as well. As I'm mentioning, here's our gardening section. This is getting into the new part of the store, and again, it's integrated with both bargain books and new books. And this section, because it's difficult to build a section, same thing with crafts, and I noticed our craft sales are actually doing quite well right now. Oh, I wanted to show you over here our puzzle business. Amazing. Ravensburger, I guess, does most of our puzzles. This line of puzzles does really well this time of the year. It's amazing. We always freak out thinking that we're never going to sell these, and they do well. They're being discounted this weekend, so they'll do fairly well. I haven't taken you to the kids' side either, but this is our messy receiving area. Want to come in from this side or not? This receiving area where Alicia can do most of it. My daughter Alicia does most of her receiving, and or all of it. But again, she is looking at down here, which is our children's section. So we have eyes on and able to assist customers who come up and ask her there. Here's Book Manager, for example, on one here. I just wanted to quickly show you that on our website we also have our book sale being advertised on here. Mind you, we don't get we get pretty good traffic to our website, but not nearly enough to make this an important part of our advertising, or it's not the deal breaker. But it is good. We keep all of our overstock returns here that were in progress. I mean, a lot of you don't have the luxury of having that much space, but and it's nice and messy, right? Another thing that we do quite well with, I should mention, is our school business. These are tags for each of the schools. The local schools have libraries, and they are buying from us quite regularly, and it has been the website that has been the key that has taken this business from virtually zero right up to something where it's very important for us. So we give the schools 20% discount, and anyway, they order a lot, then they come in. When these come in, they will also generally go and walk down the aisles and buy some books on impulse, so it works out very well. So to sort of finish off our tour of the store, this is the other part of our store. In grand total, we're just under 8,000 square feet. But this is our kids section. And on the wall units is basically all new kids books, all the different categories. In the center, we found this to be effective where we set up tables. And this is all the bargain part of our kids department, which is quite successful. And maybe you're all wishing you had this much space, or you could afford to carry this much inventory, but it does show you that our sales recently, we've been doing well, really well. We're having some nice increases, so there's still a lot of life, and as long as you be creative and work with it. And I think I sort of covered everything that we need to go, need to cover for now. Thank you very much, and I hope you find some of this video useful. I'm Michael Neill. No, I haven't. It's getting pretty busy, as you can see.
don't have many bookmarks.